Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to NoDQ&A video. We are coming off the post Night of Champions edition of Monday Night Raw. The next WWE pay-per-view is Battleground in just under 3 weeks from now. Got a lot of questions here from spring.me/Aaron Rift, the place where you could submit questions to NoDQ&A video. So let's get started here. First one today comes from the Potato Lord. The Rhodes versus McMahon storyline seems to be getting quite some attention. Do you think that this will ultimately have a good payoff or will flop? So far, I've really been enjoying this storyline. I like the storyline from the beginning when Cody Rhodes was fired. I like the follow-up with Goldust trying to get Cody's job back. And then this week on Raw, I enjoyed the Stephanie McMahon, Dusty Rhodes confrontation. It was a little bit wacky. I think Dusty referred to Cody as a 4-time world champion. But overall, I thought the segment was really effective. I liked the Big Show coming out and being forced to knock out Dusty, and then he caught Dusty as he was falling and embraced him and started crying again. So I thought it was really well done. I really enjoyed the segment. Will it have a good payoff, this storyline? There's a rumor going around right now that perhaps all three of the Rhodes will be together in a match against the Shield, a 6-man tag team match. And I would like to see that. I'm sure you could work that match and have Dusty come in at the very end as a hot tag, and he does the bionic elbows, and then the Rhodes family wins and Cody gets his job back. I think that that would be a good way to end the storyline and get Cody over as a babyface. So I would absolutely do something like that. And if Dusty doesn't wrestle, you could always just do Cody and Dustin together as a team against the Shield and have that be Cody's way of getting his job back. So, you know, I think it will lead to something like that. Whether it happens at Battleground or not, that remains to be seen. I know some people are speculating about the War Games. I don't know if WWE is going to do the War Games at this point. You know, I think that Battleground is just a name they randomly came up with, and you know, I don't know if they're going to do a gimmick from WCW. I don't know if Vince is going to want to do that. He's never been a big fan of using ideas that weren't his own. So, I mean, time will tell. I mean, it would be very fitting because Dusty Rhodes has that history with the War Games, but just to have Dusty in a match, in a 6-man tag team match, teaming up with his sons against the Shield, I think that right there is interesting enough on its own. And plus, if you do the War Games match, then Dusty would have to do more in the ring, and you know, I think he's going to be very limited, and it would be best to probably just do a traditional 6-man tag team match so you can keep Dusty out of there until the very end. All right, this one comes from S Swabby 1. Hey Aaron, I wouldn't be surprised if Triple H makes himself the WWE Champion. It's obvious that he is the one that conspired Scott Armstrong to do that fast count in Night of Champions so he could strip Daniel Bryan of the title. Makes sense, right? What are your thoughts? Well, yeah, judging on that opening segment from Raw, which I also thought was a strong segment, yeah, it looks like that Scott Armstrong and Triple H are in cahoots, but then they had that backstage segment where Triple H fired Scott Armstrong, and that was a little bit weird because if they were in cahoots, why would he fire him? The one thing I don't like about this storyline right now is that Triple H keeps going back and forth. I mean, one minute he's this dastardly heel, and then the next minute he's doing the DX catchphrases and acting like a babyface. So I really feel he needs to go entirely in one direction and not go back and forth. But yeah, I mean, I do like the storyline with Scott Armstrong, you know, coming out there and saying they got us. I mean, I thought that that was really well done, and you know, the crowd instantly knew that something was up and that there was some sort of shenanigans going on. So I thought the whole segment was well done, and you know, it's a good way to drag out the storyline. I mean, I figured at Night of Champions there would be some sort of screwy finish to keep the feud going, and now the WWE title is held up, and most likely it'll be decided at Battleground, and you know, I think that that's a decent way to get people interested in the next pay-per-view to see who ends up being the next WWE champion. All right, this one comes from Philly Fanatic 1. Hey Aaron, did you sort of feel let down all the way okay, let me say this again. Do you sort of felt let down at the way the superstars helped Bryan on Raw? Don't get me wrong, I liked the all-out brawl, but I just thought one superstar would lead the pack and help Bryan instead of an all-out run-in. Your thoughts? I thought that the ending of Raw was tremendous. I thought that the way they did it was perfect. Have a whole group of guys come out. You know, if one guy leads the pack, then he's going to be the one most responsible and the guy that's fired. But looking at it from a storyline perspective, if they all go out there together, Triple H can't fire everybody. So if everybody has equal blame, at least they'll all get equally punished, but not being fired. So, I thought that was a good way to end it, and, that's the way you would do it in the storyline. If you're the locker room, you would work together and have everybody rebel at the same time. So, it made logical sense, and, the crowd was going crazy for it. So, I think that it was a thumbs-up ending for Raw, and, I really liked when they hoisted up Daniel Bryan and everybody was doing the yes. So, I thought it was really well done. All right, this one comes from Maximos1. Greetings from Palestine. Why did you think WWE kept CM Punk off of TV, the Raw after Night of Champions? Well, I think it was to have CM Punk sell the beating from Ryback. Ryback put him through a table at Night of Champions, and it wasn't really necessary to have CM Punk on this show. The focus was establishing Ryback as the new Paul Heyman guy. And, yeah, I don't think it was necessary to have Punk on the show. Now, Raw's apparently is going to be in Chicago next week, and that would be the perfect place to have CM Punk come back and get his revenge or, go after Ryback. So, I mean, yeah, I think it was fine to keep him off this particular show, and it wasn't necessary to have him come out and get his hands on Heyman or Ryback. All right, this one comes from WWE Fan 5. Hey Aaron, Roman Reigns keeps impressing me more and more every week. Do you think he has a long-term future with WWE? Absolutely. I think of the three guys, Roman Reigns might have the best chance because he has the best look, I think, overall. And, he has that Samoan legacy and heritage. And, that right there is going to help him. I mean, I don't think that he's the best worker of the three. I think that he might be the weakest in that category. I think that Ambrose and Rollins are better in the ring, but I think when you look at the whole package, Roman Reigns might be the guy that goes the furthest in WWE. And time will tell. I mean, they're still a group right now, and who knows what will happen. I mean, a lot of people thought Ted DiBiase would be the bigger star of Legacy, but it ended up being Cody Rhodes. So you never quite know which of the three will end up going the furthest. And I really do think all three have long-term potential. All right, another question here from the Potato Lord. If you had to name 4 Match of the Year candidates for 2003 so far, what would they be? Well, I think that the top 2 will come down to CM Punk versus Undertaker at WrestleMania, and then CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Those I see being the top 2. And from that point, there's been a lot of really good matches in WWE this year. CM Punk versus Chris Jericho, the Money in the Bank ladder matches, and there have been so many good matches with Daniel Bryan and The Shield in different combinations. I mean, all those matches were really good. And the funny thing is they've had so many great matches on TV. I mean, I can't even pick one specific match that I would name as a Match of the Year candidate. But yeah, there's definitely been a lot of really strong matches. And, I think some people would even say Daniel Bryan and John Cena from SummerSlam too. But I really do feel that Brock and CM Punk was the match of the night for that pay-per-view. So, I think that will get the top priority as a Match of the Year candidate. All right, this one comes from Young EZ. Hey Aaron, now that Ryback seems to be under Paul Heyman's wing, do you think that his character can be saved? And do you ever see a Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match? I've talked about both of these topics before. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I think that Brock Lesnar versus Ryback match would be a really good match. I Judging on Raw this week, based on what happened on Raw with Ryback, I don't know if his character can be saved. I didn't really feel that the segment was working for me personally. The crowd was still doing the what chants at Ryback, and you know, I just don't know if anybody's gonna buy into Ryback at this point. So, I still have to see more where this goes and how it's followed up. But based on Raw, I still have my serious doubts. And as far as Brock Lesnar versus Ryback, don't see it happening. WWE's only using Brock Lesnar against the very top tier superstars, and in all likelihood, it'll be Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker at WrestleMania next year. WWE's only going to put him in there with the very top stars, and Ryback is not at that level. So don't see that match happening. All right, last question today comes from Daniel N. 1995. Hey Aaron, when Undertaker retires, do you see him staying with WWE and working as a trainer or in an ambassador role? Please answer in video. I can't answer for Undertaker, Mark Calloway, but I could see him sticking around in some capacity. He might just want to get away from the business. He's been involved for so many years, although the last couple of years he has been semi-retired and he really hasn't been involved. So, I think that maybe he'll be around in a limited capacity, but I don't know. I think if he was going to do stuff like with training wrestlers, I think he would have been doing it already, considering the fact that he only wrestles a couple times a year now. So I don't know if he's really gonna get involved to that degree. But he would definitely be able to help out a lot of people. He is the locker room leader. That's how he has been seen for years and decades now. He's very highly respected and highly regarded, and I think he can give a lot to the young talent. So I would like to see it, but I don't know if that's something that is in the cards for him and something that he really wants to do at this point. All right, that'll wrap things up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter. Keep spreading the word. And I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.